I'm James Zanewicz from Tulane Medicine, here at the Bullpen during JPM week with one of my favorite people in the world, Dr. Veronique Bouchet of PrecisionLife. Welcome back to the Bullpen.
Thank you so much, James.
And
great to be here.
You've done a lot with the Bullpen, but this is your first KOL interview.
Yes, indeed.
Lots of first timers today. Everyone's come through it okay. I haven't injured anyone, just so you know. 3 easy questions. And the first one, I've gotten to know you. We've done a long form podcast. We'll reference that later so people can get more information about you. But give folks a quick background on you. Who is Veronique? How did you get where you are now?
Okay. Well, I was born in France, and I came to England when I was 12. And I stayed in England to study medicine, which I did in London. And then I worked for 5 years in hospitals. Mm-hmm. And it was in the days when we were doing 80 to 120 hours on call
not
a week.
Not the easy days like they have now.
No, not like now.
And it's still hard, but there are a few more guardrails in place.
It's still horrendous, yeah. And then one day, after doing 72 hours on call without sleep, I crashed the car on the way home, and I thought, there's got to be a better life than this.
Yep.
So I joined the dark side.
We think of it as the bright side, developing all the things that the doctors can use. Yes.
Exactly. But you get to make a difference in a different way, which is really good. So I worked in Germany for Grünenthal, doing drug development of tramadol. And then I moved to what was ICI at the time, that is now AstraZeneca. Mm-hmm. And I worked in big survival studies and developing lisinopril in heart failure. So I was doing a lot of drug development, medical affairs, which I loved. But I really wanted to move more to the commercial side. Mm-hmm. So I decided to do an MBA. So I went to INSEAD, back to France for a year. And then afterwards, I worked in venture capital and investments for 3 years. And then I wanted to get more business experience. So I decided to go back to the pharmaceutical industry. And then I did a bunch of jobs in business development, a lot of strategy, corporate strategy, venture strategy, licensing, spin-outs. And then in 2011, I decided to set up my own consultancy. And then I had about 4 board seats, so I really enjoy the non-executive side of things. And then I met the CEO of my current company, Steve, who told me about what an exciting company he was putting together. And I've always liked cutting edge, never done before stuff, and this is certainly one of those. So I decided to join 7 years ago as their chief medical officer.
And so you're the CMO at PrecisionLife, and I imagine that's going to be what the answer to my next question is PrecisionLife. But when you get up, what are you thinking about? What is your focus for 2025 ahead?
Well, we're doing so many exciting projects. It's trying to keep the balls rolling because
that's the fun part, right? It's like the juggling and the rolling and all the things at once.
And making sure, we get results that get us revenues and deals and so on. So if I explain very quickly what we do.
Please, I would love that.
So we're an NI-enabled combinatorial analytics precision medicine company. So we are trying to do for complex chronic diseases what precision medicine's achieved in oncology, which is not easy. And very quickly, we do combinatorial data analytics. So we look for combinations of features, for example, SNPs, that are associated with certain other data. And it could be symptoms, severity of disease, drug response, etc. So what we end up with is very, very deep insights into the biology, driving the disease, so the mechanisms. And it's much better than GWAS and PRS. It's fast, hypothesis free, and but also incredibly useful. So we deliver novel drugs, so novel targets with patient stratification biomarkers. We can do clinical trial rescue, for example, responders, non-responders. And we're also developing a lot of stuff in healthcare, which is really, really exciting. So we're able to predict the risk of a disease, and not just the risk, but also identify the mechanism that's going to be driving that disease, so we can recommend drugs, whether they're repurposed or novel. So I think you asked about the focus.
No, I think that's great. It's a really great background, and I think multiple things that you guys are working on. Are there any projects that you're particularly excited about this year?
Yes, there's two really exciting
I'd love
things
to hear about that.
we're working on. So first of all is endometriosis, which is an absolutely terrible disease. It affects 1 in 10 women. It costs a lot in healthcare costs, but also in lost productivity. And it's debilitating for women in terms of pain and other problems.
And it's often not talked about, which is
And it's
terrible.
not
Like we're
talked
talking about it right now, yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is it's often not diagnosed. It takes 8 to 10 years on average to diagnose someone. So what we are developing are tests, which are saliva tests, so that we can derive a disease signature that will triage a patient into being treated much faster. So we could say, oh, you've got chronic pelvic pain. We think this is endometriosis. You've got the disease signature for it, and you really need to go and see a gynae and have a laparoscopy for diagnosis and treatment. So that's one thing. And the other exciting thing where we're now in the clinic in a research trial is MECSF. So that's chronic fatigue syndrome, which is debilitating. Until we came along, there'd been no genetic associations whatsoever, and patients were being told they're lazy or it's a psychosomatic disease, you're all making it up. And we did a study in UK Biobank, found 14 new genes, and we are able to link these genetic drivers to potential therapies for patients. And we're doing a 1,000-patient clinical trial with the Metrodora Institute in Salt Lake City, and we're already returning results to patients, and it is making a difference to their treatment because doctors are able to see if it's a specific mechanism. There might be a supplement that's been shown to work. So that's really exciting, and the MECSF community is super excited about what we're doing.
Well, given how much you have going on, I imagine you could probably use some help. And as you know, the Bullpen is all about finding someone, helping them, and repeating. But when you're doing your KOL interview, it is your chance not to help, but to be helped. So what is your ask or asks of the Bullpen community? How can they help you accomplish all that you've talked about and help move it forward?
Well, we can't do this alone. It's too complex. It's too difficult. So what we really would like, help-wise, is help accessing great data and key opinion leaders who understand the diseases, because we can't be experts in 50 disease studies. Then we're also looking for collaborations, and we have lots of novel targets with markers. So we really would like to talk to biopharma partners for R&D collaborations, or as I mentioned before, trial rescue, or helping them design trials that are going to work, because they'll be able to give the drug to the patient which will respond to that particular therapy. We're also in healthcare, would love to talk to healthcare organizations who are interested in working with us in identifying patients at risk of a disease and also working out what the best treatment or intervention might be. And then finance, we're raising a Series A. So any introductions to tech bio investors would be super welcome.
And how much are you raising for your Series A?
We're raising $15 million.
Very good, very good. So if you heard Dr. Bouchet, what they're looking for are connections, collaborations, investment funding for tech bio. She is linked in this post. Send her an inbox message if you can help with any of those things. I hope you have a great rest of your JPM and a wonderful 2025 again. And I look forward to seeing you throughout the course of the year.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.